my goodness. See, I have one thing figured out and then I messed something else up. So I have my mic on now, and we are probably 1 minute away from getting started. Today, I thought we would start on our hands and knees and do a little bit of a different combo for our warm up. A little bit of a yoga and Pilates fusion, a little bit more stretching than we normally would. Focus on some of the little used joints for our stretching, like our ankles and our wrists. Welcome, and let's get on our mat. Okay, we're going to begin in a kneeling position. I'll turn to the side, just like this. And you want your hands and shoulders in line and your knees and your hips in line. Pull that belly up, and we're just going to round the back up and down. And begin with just getting that spine moving a little bit. Just up and down, nice and controlled. And we're not adding any particular breathing at this point, but we just want you to breathe. I think that goes without saying, but I said it anyway. Just make sure that you do breathe. From here, let's just rock into a little bit of a rounded back and then gently sink backward onto the heels. This is a child pose from yoga. And then gently up. So just rocking back and forth, gently down, taking the weight off those hands, and then gently back up. So just doing this a couple of times. And again, not being concerned about where the breath is coming in or out, but just making sure that you are breathing. And it's very natural to just allow your breath to begin to coordinate with your movement. So you may find that you're exhaling as you sit and inhaling as you come up. But allow that to happen organically. Don't force it right now. We're just warming up. All right, from that tabletop position, let's just take one hand and just scooch it through, looking toward the other sides. This is a yoga pose we're borrowing for this right now. It has made my microphone come very close to my mouth, so I apologize if I feel a little bit loud right now. Let's come up and thread through the other side. Pardon my back to you. Let the ear come down to the mat. Let the head rest on the mat if you can. And just a couple of breaths there. And that's going to gently twist out. Come on up. It's going to gently twist out that lower back. Let's thread through each side again. And we're just going to move through that a little bit more smoothly. So just let that head and shoulder come down and then back up and place the hand. And the other side. Reach that arm right through, head and shoulder just touch down gently, and then coming back up. Let's do each side one more time. Just reaching through and coming up, and once again on the other side, reaching through and coming up. To warm up and open up the hips, we're going to take a big step forward with one foot, and then align your chest right on top of that thigh. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see that a little bit better. Okay, we're going to lean in to that lower hip and open it up. But let's keep this dynamic. So with the fingertips on the floor if you can, or with your hands on your thigh if the fingertips is too deep, just going to release and then lunge forward. We're just going to repeat that several times. Nice and gentle. So you're feeling that opening up in this hip flexor. We're just warming it up, going through the range of motion. So if you wish to come down here, you're going to find that you feel not only this stretch, but in this phase, you're feeling this stretch. Hamstring of the front leg, quadricep and hip flexor in the back leg. Just do a couple more. Gently rocking from one to the other. I hope you have something soft on which to place your knee. Let's come back into that tabletop position and switch sides. If you do find that your knee does not like being on the floor like this, you can absolutely put a folded towel or a pillow or fold your mat up a couple of times and kneel on that. Let's do that. Rock back and forth. In and back. So your alternative again, if your fingertips aren't going to reach the floor, you're just coming to the thigh and dropping in and out. This can also be a bit of a balance challenge if you find you're kind of teetering side to side. If you have a countertop, a chair, a couch, or something nearby, I guess a countertop's too high, but you can hold on to the seat of a chair or your couch or your coffee table, whatever's nearby. All right, just rocking through there. And we're going to come back to that tabletop position. Those knees back a little bit and bring the elbows down. And we're going to come into a sphinx position. The locust is a little bit different. We're going to do that later. This is the sphinx position. The elbows down and the palms nice and wide and a little bit of an arch through the back. Sphinx. All right, just holding on to that for a little bit of a back bend. And now we'll pull those arms in a little closer, the hands just under the shoulder, and we will do a couple of locust up and down, tuck the chin in, and then look forward and lift up. And we're almost going into cobra, not quite. We're lifting up and pressing a little bit into the mat, just warming up through that spine. Excellent. And we're going to bring those elbows back in. Once again to that sphinx position. The shoulders are pressed down and away. And the back of the neck is curved, not bent. So just letting that neck be a natural curve with the spine. All right, let's come back up to that tabletop position. So I'm trying to do this gracefully. Knees come back in. And I'm just going to sit here for a moment. If you're not comfortable sitting like this, you can just stay up here so that the knees aren't completely bent. And we're going to turn those wrists a couple of times and make sure they have a little bit of love before we put them back on the floor to that tabletop position. Just get those wrists rolling. Shake it off a little bit.
Hello, I'm in editing mode right now, not in teaching mode, as you might be able to tell. I thought I'd do a quick explanation of this little piece that you're watching right now. It is a warm-up portion from a Pilates class where the video did not cooperate. So that's why it's kind of an abrupt ending. Please go ahead and use this warm-up, this tabletop warm-up for any kind of Pilates or yoga class that you might be doing, or any time that you just need a nice on the mat, gentle warm up or pick me up kind of energizing stretch. Thanks for watching.